Let's speak to Anas Al-Gumati. He's a Libya analyst and founder of Tripoli-based Al-Sadiq Institute, joining us from the Tunisian capital. So this is surely a positive step for Libya, is it not, Anas?
Well, it's the first step in a very, very long journey now. There have been many disputes over the last few days between the stakeholders that were not involved in the agreement and how they may come to react to the signing of this deal today in Skhirat. Now, obviously, that's going to be a long journey of negotiation. Now, instead of it being negotiated dialogues, it will now become a negotiation between a government potentially that they want to install in Tripoli, post the agreement in Skhirat, and other rivaling governments that are across the country. Now, this could be a big sticking point, let alone the other militias that will not sign on to the agreement. So it's a positive step, but it's a very, very long journey towards this sustainable peace that
like you say, a lot of the armed groups have not signed up to this deal. So what will it take for that to happen?
Well, I think the first step, obviously, is that political leaders that are not involved and those that are involved have to make a statement amongst one another to say that they will not apply the rules of warfare that they've taken from the front lines in the deserts of Libya and the cities of Libya and take that war into the government and start pursuing one another in very, very nasty assassination campaigns or campaigns to exclude one another from government. That could de-escalate the situation. It could kind of detoxificate the situation that we already have, that has been the case for the last year and a half. That is still the rhetoric that has escalated amongst the population. Now, if we can get rid of that amongst the political elites, we can find ways to work within the militias, within the militia landscape, from the local level upwards, and start to say, how can we quarantine all these different, local and national disputes and make sure that they're not done through bullets, but they're done through ballots. And I think that has to be the main commitment that is made by the political actors, so that we can begin to quarantine the capital city in Tripoli, install the government there.
How will that commitment be made by the political actors and by the political leaders?
Well, I think the first thing that has to happen is that the UN needs to shadow many of the ministries, the really sensitive portfolios, the intelligence apparatus, the security apparatus. Many of the apparatuses that have been around for the last 40 years that were pursuing many of the political elites are now trying to fend and pursue government positions. The second has to be a commitment from those that are within and from the UN to begin to negotiate outside of just this installed government, but with the spoilers that have been going across the country, and start making commitments to them and saying, look, we're not going to pursue you, soit for war crimes across the country or for your political affiliation, and we're going to try to remove a lot of the regional actors. But let's not be too simple about this. This is going to be a very, very long journey. It includes the international community. They have to quarantine many of the countries that have been fueling this conflict. And then on the local level, we have to have a Libyan-led Libyan dialogue from amongst those that are within this government, but also that let's not forget those names that are outside that feel that this could come to threaten their existence in the country as well.
All right, Anas Al-Gumati, thank you for joining us from Tunis.